Hawaiian. A Hawaiian eruption is a type of volcanic eruption where lava flows from the vent in a relatively gentle, low-level eruption. It is so named because it is the characteristic of Hawaiian volcanoes. Hawaiian eruption may occur along the fissure vents, such as during the eruption of Mauna Loa in 1950, or at a central vent, such as during the 1959 eruption in Kilauea Iki crater. Hawaiian examples: 1959 Kilauea Iki crater at the summit of Kilauea. In 1959, eruption of Kilauea Iki crater was a relatively short-lived event. November 14 to December 20, 1959, and produced some of Kilauea's most spectacular lava fountains of the 20th century. Most importantly, the eruption provided some of the first measurable data about the magma reservoir system of Kilauea. 1969 to 1974, Mauna Ulo eruption, the longest duration eruption ever recorded on Kilauea, lasted from May of 1969 until July of 1974, generating amazing lava fountains, cascading lava falls, and eventually adding 200 acres of new land to Hawaii's Big Island. 1983 to 1986, Pu'u'o eruption. Lava fountains and flows have profoundly altered the landscape and repeatedly challenged the residents with lava inundation. The eruption began on January 3, 1983, as the first several fissures broke out on Kilauea's East Rift Zone. Sceince in Iceland, in 1963 eruption. In November 1963, Sceince was formed in a volcanic eruption. When the eruption first occurred, columns of ash were sent almost 9,146 meters into the sky and could be seen on clear days as far as Reykjavik. Mauna Loa, 1950 eruption. The 1950 eruption lasted for 23 days. It erupted 376 million cubic meters of lava, the largest outpouring of lava from the southwest rift zone of Mauna Loa since written records has been kept. Lava lakes. Lava lakes are large volumes of molten lava, usually basalt, contained in a volcanic vent, crater, or broad depression. Lava lakes can form in three ways: from one or more vents in a crater that erupts enough lava to partially fill the crater, or when lava pours in a crater or broad depression and partially fills the crater, or atop a new vent that erupts lava continuously for a period of several weeks or more and slowly builds a crater progressively higher than the surrounding ground. Lava lakes. Example: Kilauea volcano. The rapidly formed lava lake in the summit collapse crater might have reached an equilibrium between magma, influx, and drain, as it has only increased little during the past 24 hours. African volcano. In 2002, the last time Nyiragongo volcano erupted, the lava raced down its flanks into the crowded city of Goma, on the border between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda. About 250 people died. Mount Yasur, July 1974. includes frequent strombolian explosions, along with ash and gas plumes from the several vents in the summit crater. Mount Merapi is an active stratovolcano located on the border between Central Java and special region of Yogyakarta provinces, Indonesia. Smoke can often be seen emerging from the mountaintop, and several eruptions have caused fatalities. Mount Etna, located on the island of Sicily, Italy, its most recent eruptive period began in September 2013. Strombolian eruptions are a type of volcanic eruption named after the volcano Stromboli, which has been erupting nearly continuously for centuries. Strombolian eruptions are driven by the bursting of gas bubbles within the magma. These gas bubbles within the magma accumulate and condense into large bubbles called gas lungs. Strombolian examples: Paricutin volcano erupted continuously between 1943 to 1952. Mount Erebus, Antarctica, has produced Strombolian eruptions for at least many decades. 1965, activity of Irazu volcano in Costa Rica. Huge cloud of molten lava burst from the summit crater to form luminous arcs through the sky. Collecting on the flanks of the cone, lava clots combine to stream down the slopes in fiery rivulets. Stromboli volcano. Stromboli, a small island north of Sicily, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world, famous for its normally small but regular explosions, throwing out glowing lava from several vents inside the summit crater. Pacaya, Guatemala. Pacaya volcano near Guatemala City is one of Guatemala's most active volcanoes, and its frequent eruptions are often visible from Guatemala City. Vulcanian. Vulcanian eruptions are a type of volcanic eruption named after the volcano, similar to Strombolian eruptions. This led to the buildup of high gas pressure, eventually popping the cap holding the magma down and resulting in an explosive eruption. Vulcanian examples: Paricutin volcano in 1947, a dense cloud of ash-laden gas explodes from the crater and rises above the peak, steaming ash forming a whitish cloud near the upper level of the cone. 1902, eruption of Mount Pelée destroyed the town of Saint Pierre, killing 29,000 to 30,000 people in a space of few minutes, in the worst volcanic disaster of the 20th century. Vulcanian eruption at Krakatau. From the beginning of activity on 20 May to the onset of the 22 to 24-hour-long climactic phase on 26 to 27 August, Krakatau produced a discontinuous series of Vulcanian to Subpilinian eruption. 1930 eruption of Strombolian. The 11th September 1930, eruption of Stromboli was a Vulcanian eruption. It started at 8:10 hours local, when ash was vented for about 10 minutes. Then at 9:52, two incredibly powerful explosions occurred which shook the whole island. Blocks were hurled about 20 kilometers. Washington's Mount St. Helens. In this type of eruption, the magma blasts into the air and breaks apart into pieces called tephra. Tephra can range in size from tiny particles of ash to house-sized boulders. Plinian. Plinian eruptions or Vesuvian eruptions are a type of volcanic eruption named for the historical eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. A major stratovolcano in southern Italy, the most famous for its eruption. The process powering Plinian eruption starts in the magma chamber, where dissolved volatile gases are stored in the magma. Plinian examples: Mount Tambora in the island of Sumbawa, Indonesia, that in April 1915 exploded in the largest volcanic eruption in recorded history. It is now 2,851 meters high, having lost much of its top in the 1915 eruption. The 1983 eruption of Krakatoa in Sunda Strait, Indonesia, began on the afternoon of Sunday, 26 August 1883, with origins as early as May and peaked on the late morning of Monday, 27 August 1883, when over 70% of the island of Krakatoa and its surrounding archipelago were destroyed as it collapsed in caldera. The 1886 eruption of Mount Tarewa in New Zealand. Tarewa eruption were caused by pyroclastic surges from the Rotomahana area. A particular type of pyroclast flow is the hot avalanche caused by the collapse of a part of a growing lava dome. Hot lava boulders, ash, and gas cascade down the side of a volcano. The 1907 eruption of Mount Fuji in Japan. Fuji's last eruption ejected tons of tephra into the atmosphere. Tephra includes all solid volcanic material, not lava or volcanic gas. Tephra released by the 1907 eruption of Fuji included volcanic ash and volcanic rock, such as pumice and scoria. Tephra blanketed the city of Ed. The 946 eruption of Pyaktu Mountain in China or North Korea. The 946 eruption of Pyaktu Mountain in Korea and China, also known as Millennium Eruption or Tiangchi Eruption, was one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in record history and is classified as a VEI 7 event. The eruption began with a strong Plinian column, and ended with voluminous pyroclastic flows. Sceince eruption, a high-energy volcanic eruption which occurs when a sea or lake water floods into the top of an active open vent, producing an eruption column up to 20 km. And pyroclastic blast with an extreme fragmentation and moderate dispersal. Sceince. Bosgolsov. On the north end of Bosgolsov Island is a small 500 feet by 900 feet dome that was erupted in 1992. Bosgolsov Island is the largest of the cluster of small, low-lying islands, comprising the emergent summit of a large submarine stratovolcano. This stratovolcano rises about 6,000 feet from the Bering Sea floor, but is only about 300 feet above sea level and its highest point. Graham Island. Graham Island erupted in 1931, about 50 kilometers north of Panelleria in the Mediterranean Sea. volcanism was parallel to that observed in the 1963 eruption of an island of Sceince of Iceland. The initial eruptions of both volcanic islands were hydrovolcanic, but later eruptions were more strombolian. Showa Uejima came into existence during the eruption of 1934. On September 12, 1934, earthquakes began continuing for several days. On September 17, a plume of ash and smoke erupted from the ocean surface. And by September 20, an island of ash and pumice began to form. Lava flows were confirmed on November 25, and on December 7, the existence of a new island was confirmed. Sceince. In November 1963, Sceince was formed in a volcanic eruption. The birth of Sceince took almost 4 years as an eruption followed eruption until 1967, by which time the island stood 150 meters above sea level and covered in an area of almost 3 square kilometers. Capelinhos. The Capelinhos volcano eruption that took place between 1957 and 58. It is part of the larger volcano complex of Capelo, which includes 20 scoria cones and lava fields that are aligned west-northwest to east-southeast from Cabeco Gordo caldera. Subglacial. A subglacial volcano, also known as glaciovolcano, is a volcanic form produced by subglacial eruption or eruption beneath the surface of a glacier or ice sheet, which is then melted into a lake by the rising lava. Subglacial. Mount Melbourne is a 2,733 meter high, ice-covered stratovolcano in Victoria Land, Antarctica. The Wood Bay. Between the Wood Bay and Terra Nova Bay, it is an elongated mountain with a summit caldera filled with ice. Numerous parasitic vents. A volcanic field surrounds the edifice. Mount Erebus. In early 2001, lava flows in the inner crater and ash were seen at Erebus volcano. On 23 November 2001, it is also a volcanic form produced by subglacial eruption or eruptions beneath the surface of a glacier or ice sheet, which is then melted into a lake by the rising lava. Today, they are most common in Iceland and Antarctica. Older formations of this type are found also in British Columbia and Yukon Territory, Canada. Mount Morning. Mount Morning is a shield volcano at the foot of the Transantarctic Mountains in Victoria Land, Antarctica. It lies 100 kilometers from Ross Island. Mount Morning rises to an elevation of 2,723 meters and is almost entirely mantled with snow and ice. Jolp. It originated in an eruption series in 1996, probably part of the Grímsvötn volcanic system. Though all scientists involved are of this opinion, Jolp is a hyaloclastic ridge in Iceland under the Vatnajökull glacier shield.